welcome to Irish Footy Vlogs. Today I have Ryan Fagan from Bohsfan TV with me, and I thought I'd ask him a couple of questions. So Ryan, how are you? You well?
I'm Graham. How are you keeping yourself?
I'm keeping all right. Now, why did you start up the channel? It's only new, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's about 3 days ago. I think roughly. I think I started up on Monday. The reason I started it was because I've been bored out of my head. First of all, second of all, I've been wanting to start some sort of channel like this for a good while, but I never got the time. But now I'm in transition year, so I have a lot of time all year, and I really start a
Go
few.
on ahead.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, keep going. Yeah.
So anyway, I got the idea from one of my mates. So we were messing around, and he started going, "Oh, Bohsfan TV," messing around doing interviews and all, and that's where I got the name from. So I said I might as well give it a crack, and it's going very well at the moment. So
Yeah, you're kind of turning a negative into a positive a little bit here, aren't you?
yeah, it was a running joke with me and my mate for a while. But then I said, "Here, let's make some good out of it."
Yeah. And how do you find it? Is it something that you think you'll enjoy doing? As I said, you've only started up.
Yeah.
It is hard. People think you just come on and you start a channel and everything comes with it. But it is hard. But at the same time, you have to be enjoying doing the videos, don't you? And even the editing process sometimes can be a bit of a pain in the you know what.
Yeah.
But I've done videos and I've edited them and I've just gone, oh no, I've left something in there and will I go back or what? Things like that happen as well. But it's all part of the process, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets a bit stressful. Like I remember on my first introduction video, I think it took me 20 takes to get it right. And then the second video where the Keith Long 11, where I was getting the photos and doing the voiceover, that was like hell for me just trying to get it done. It gets a bit stressful, but it's all worth it because in the end you enjoy looking back at your videos.
Yeah, it takes time. I've done a couple of voiceovers and it takes time to get used to them because you sound I found when I was doing the voiceovers, you sound bland or something like that. It's hard to come across more. It's unnatural, so you don't get that. It's a strange one doing the voiceovers, but it takes time to work that out as well. What kind of videos would you be planning on doing now as well, generally?
So I've been thinking a lot of different ones. So I obviously have fan view. Remember I was talking to you about that. Like you were going to be a guest on it. So it's basically going to be similar enough to this. It's going to be I have this questions. I'm just going to basically be an interview with fans. It's going to replace my idea for pre-match and after-match interviews with fans, as obviously for certain reasons we can't do that now, sadly. And then I'm gonna hopefully get top 10 and just general reactions to League of Ireland news, especially like the behind closed doors proposal. I'm hoping to get a video up on that next week.
And then obviously, if we did get the football back, kind of news just comes in, and you get ideas from the news itself that's coming in as well. So, how long do you follow Bohs?
It's been a weird one because when I was younger, I used to go to the odd game with my dad, my brother and sister. They always went, and then just when I grew up, my dad, my sister, and brother stopped going to the games for different reasons. My brother had work, my sister was too busy with school, and then my dad kind of lost the not passion, but kind of just because they weren't going, he kind of stopped going. And then one that like I kind of always I loved going to Bohs games when I was younger. So I turned around and said to my dad one day, "Can we go see Bohs?" He said, "Yeah, why not?" Ended up going. I enjoyed myself. It was something. It was something I could never explain how good it was seeing football in person. Because I've been over to Liverpool, I've seen all these things, but you're just so much closer to the action. And what was the other thing? Yeah, so just January. So then my dad stopped kind of dipping down from going again with me, and then I kind of one day just turned around and said, "All right, just give me the money, drop into the stadium. You don't have to say anything." So I went to I think 2 seasons, paying as just in the door, full like for the full season, and then this is my third season ticket, but my second year in a row having one. So yeah, I got very lucky with the season ticket last year.
And yeah, exactly. It's a tough one. Do you remember your first Bohemians game? Or even first time at Daily Man. It's probably the same thing, but anyway.
I think it was Cork City, and I mean yonks ago. Yeah, it was Cork City because I remember it was back when the Des Kelly stand was still the homeland. I remember just sitting on that kind of stone area when you could. That was my first memory. I'm pretty sure that was my first game. It was just something else. I remember we were young and we just kept on kind of shouting at the keeper, kick it that way, kick it that way. It was just, yeah.
And do you remember the score?
I haven't. I hope.
Sorry?
I hope Bohs won, but I don't know.
I'm guessing if you don't remember, they probably didn't win.
Yeah. Oh, it's been years now, so.
And who would be your favourite Bohemians players, current or past?
To be honest, at the moment, it's probably Chris Quartek because he's won himself into the ground every single game. He's fantastic. It was a tough competition with Danny Managerial this year. And then I remember, if I don't know if you remember Futzer Sule, he was he was a brilliant player. I think he was one player here in 2017. Fantastic player. I remember when I was with my dad before I started going to Loch G. So we were sitting kind of in the middle of the Jody stand, and he turned around and said to me, "Geez, that guy's brilliant. He's like Kante." And I thought that he was being racist. And then I started, I generally thought that. Then I started watching his game closely, and I was like, he's so comfy on the ball. He's brilliant. I think he would fit right into this Keith Long team at the moment. He'd be a huge addition to get back. I think he's playing for Laird at Northern Ireland at the moment.
Yeah, what's that?
I think he's playing for Laird in Northern Ireland at the moment.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up north for sure.
Yeah.
And what would be your general opinion on Keith Long?
I
think you support Bohs now for 3 seasons. Keith Long is there a bit longer, but he seems to be developing the team year after year after year. Have you seen in those 3 seasons the improvement and development of Bohemians yourself? Like, what have you seen that think is improved?
If I'm being honest, I have seen him at the start, like in 2015 when he took over. But that was kind of when I did have seasick. I was kind of in and out again. At first, because I think it must have been about 11 when he took over. But I was kind of like, I didn't know because I was too young. But then it kind of everybody kind of grew to him. I thought, looking back now, I think he's if not, he's the best manager in the league. He's been brilliant, especially with no budget, and he's been very good at bringing in young players coming back, especially from England. We see with Danny Managerial, Conor Levingston. You can name a good few others, but I don't have time.
Yeah, he seems to have a good pick. He seems to pick out young players, and I don't know if it's a case of he improves those players. He probably does. Or he just has an eye that no one else seems to see in this league in terms of bringing in these young players. Because even Twardek, last season, most Sligo fans will tell you he was a bit up and down. But he's come into Bohs and he looks like a completely different player. So I think he's a habit. He seems to get the best out of players and bring a squad together.
Yeah.
And, like Mandrea was going nowhere a little bit over in England. Talbot, you could say the same thing. But they've come back to the League of Ireland. And they performed, and they might get that chance in England again, based on how they performed in the League of Ireland. But what was I going to say there? Yeah, I had a question there in my head as well. Where do you think Bohs will finish?
I think they'll finish third.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think it'll be very hard now to catch the goalers this year. I hate saying it personally. But they have a really strong squad that is stronger than others. And I just think, I'd say in the next few years, if they can consistently get European football, they'll start getting the money in and then hopefully runs the pitch. And you can see what Keith Long can do with little to no money. Imagine what you could do with a bit of field ball.
Yeah, I think the longer Keith Long stays, the better. I actually remember Keith Long as a player, which is scary as well. He was generally a fullback. He was fairly tigerish. More of a defensive fullback than an attacking fullback. I remember he played with Pats actually. He did play with Bohs as well, a number of other clubs. But he was always a good leader as a player, and he's obviously got into Bohs there and he's turned things around. But as you say, Bohs, you know what I mean, they're not a full-time club. There's other clubs that are full-time clubs that Bohs have done better than in the last couple of seasons. And he's just brought those players through, and I think he's done a great job of it, to be fair.
Yeah. I think he's the keys to success for Bohs in the next few years. They can keep him there. I think he enjoys being there.
Yeah.
And I know he's getting linked with a few big jobs in the league, but he's been kind of shown that he's not going anywhere.
I think if he was to leave Bohs, he'd be going abroad, though. I couldn't see him leaving Bohs for another club, because he's not going to go to Dundalk or Shamrock Rovers, let's be honest, particularly Shamrock. He's not going to go to those clubs. So why he wouldn't take another club in the League of Ireland, I feel, because he has a project at Bohs. He's put so much work in at Bohemians that to see that, you would suggest that he hasn't seen the fruition of it yet, because there's more to come from this Bohemians team and squad. You know what I mean? And, you know, the fact that you were saying you found it hard to get a season ticket, a lot of that is down to Keith Long because of the job he's done at Bohemians. So he's bringing in fans, he's bringing fans back to the club, which is always important for any club, to bring fans back to the club. And I just think the job he's done is exceptional. And they do it by playing good football as well. They try and play good football. You know, it's not a case of us against the world and we'll put everyone behind the ball and defend and be hard to beat. They actually try to play good football, and they'll try and take on anybody, even if it's Shamrock Rovers or Dundalk. You know, they've had a great record against Shamrock Rovers actually in the last few years. They've beaten them more times than Rovers have beaten them. So you can't have enough praise for him, to be honest with you. One player I think they've lost was Denny Corcoran. Like, you would have seen him play a lot. He scored a lot of goals last season, then got injured. He was a huge loss, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was key. I actually remember because I was doing the video and I remember I looked it up. It was his third stint at Bohs, and it was against Derry, I think, his debut. I think we lost 2 or 3-1 or something like that. But he scored, and you could kind of see the way he was playing that he was going to be a good player under long, just the way he put him a poacher. I think he's been brilliant for Bohs last 2 years when he's been fit.
Yeah, I think he's one of those players as well. He's improved dramatically as he's got older. I think when he was younger, he was a bit up and down, but he's really improved. And I think he's relevant playing in that squad, being a leader, because I think he's 31 years of age now, and Bohs are full of young players, and I think he just loves that interaction and being the man, I think. You know what I mean? There's a lot of players like that if they went to another club and were just, say, another player, so to speak, they kind of struggle a little bit. But he's at Bohs a few years now, and I think he's enjoying being a man. Now, he was a loss because he was available for this season, and then he got injured in pre-season, so he hasn't kicked the ball for Bohs, I'm pretty sure. I think he was supposed to be on the bench for the Rovers game.
No, he's actually supposed to start the Rovers game. He got out on the warm-up. That was the first thing. I think, was it Andre Wright replaced him in the lineup?
It was, yeah.
I remember when they came back out, there's Andre Wright, and everybody's looking at it like, what's happening here?
Yeah. Because, exactly. It must have been tough for him, because that was a horrific injury he got last season, like, you know, and he could have been top scorer by the end of the season in the league, because he got 7 goals in 16 appearances.
Great start.
Yeah, and he would have taken points off Bohemians as well, so they might have got a bit closer to who was second, Shamrock Rovers, had he been fit. I mean, I thought he was a huge loss for them, because I think good strikers in the league are at premium at the moment a little bit. You know, obviously Houben is brilliant, but there's nobody else. You know, a lot of clubs are struggling for strikers, actually.
Yeah, that's a good position in the league for a while now, actually.
Yeah, it's a general struggle in the league with strikers. But with Bohs, they've Andrew Wright and Glenn McCauley. Now, McCauley was at Pats, and I have to say he was poor at Pats, but I don't think he started great at Bohs either, did he?
It was a weird one, right? So
he missed his chances.
Yeah, he scored a few in pre-season. I know that I was at a few in pre-season games. The one that stood out for me was he's really good at getting into that position and making himself. The only problem is just his finish, and I think he just kind of jumps when he gets in front of the goal.
Yeah. You
can see he's a good player. It's just he needs to kind of be holes on front of the goal.
That's exactly what it is. That's the frustrating thing about it, though. You see him with Pats there last season. He missed sitter after sitter, and you're thinking the guy's getting in good positions, but he just he seems to just blow up. When even 5 yards out, he'll miss like it from time to time. And the ability is there. If Long can just get that confidence into him to finish, then I think potentially he's probably better than Wright, because he gets into better positions and he's a good runner. But God, he misses some sitters. But I think if I would have given him, I think, if Corcoran was out injured for 10 games, I think I'd give Macaulay a run and see what he can do in the 10 games. And if he got a run and if he got a goal, then he could set off. He's one of those players that I wouldn't rule out yet because he's still very young. So
there's a reason Liverpool had the first place. There's a reason Liverpool had them. Sorry. Yeah. Liverpool.
He was at Liverpool. Yeah. I remember when he came to Pats as well. Everyone at Pats was saying, yes, we have a striker now. There's, the Christy Fagan there. And he got a bad injury at 28 or something like that, and his career ended. They haven't replaced him since. They thought Macaulay be the man, but he just didn't settle in last year. But at the same time, I've seen a lot of young strikers in the league struggle at the beginning, and then 2 or 3 years down the road, they're suddenly brilliant. And Macaulay would be one player I'd look at potentially to be that kind of player. So I'm interested to see how we do in a season with Bohemians. But obviously, if Corcoran is fit, Corcoran has to play the games,
Yeah, it's a weird one. See, Audrey Wright does have a record of scoring in big games. That's the only thing against Glenn.
He's the opposite of Macaulay. He tends to score, but his all-round game isn't great.
Yeah, he kind of just gets lost in the game, and then everybody's getting the whole game. Next, bang,
scores.
People forget about it.
There was a game against Dundalk last season at Talymount Park. I was there, I vlogged it near the end of the season. Bohs won 2-1. Wright scored a fantastic goal in that game. I think he gave him the lead as far as I remember. But he scored a great goal in that game. But up to that point, the ball was bouncing off him and you know what I mean? Nothing was happening, and then he just swivels, turns, right side of the box, goal, and you're going, you know what I mean? Like, the players of that can be very strange.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. But have you seen McGuinness play, the goalkeeper?
Which club is he again?
No, Bohemian second choice keeper.
Oh, McGuinness, yeah.
McGuinness, sorry.
I wasn't thinking. I've been to every home game and he's been fantastic.
He's a good keeper too, yeah.
He checked up when Talbot got that injured. Jeez, that was a great part there. I didn't have a clue what you were talking about.
No, you're right.
He was fantastic this year. He was as far as I know, he was in the PFEI Team of the Year for First Division last year.
He was, yeah. No, he was very good. I'm surprised he went to Bohs. The reason why is because they have Talbot. And I thought he's good enough to be a first team keeper in a lot of Premier Division teams. But he would have been sickened because that was his chance with Talbot injured. And then the pandemic comes along and you're thinking to yourself, but you keep Talbot on his toes. If Talbot has a few bad games, Keith Long would have no issue with putting in McGuinness as well, So it just shows the strength of that Bohemian squad at the moment as well. I'm pretty sure there's 26 players in their first team squad, and it's a fairly strong squad. If you could say one position where Bohs needed to improve, what position would you say you go for?
That's a hard one. At the start of the year, it probably would have been centre back, but they did bring in 2 centre backs, and Kelly, who very well played when they've been there. It's hard to kind of say because you don't really want to diss any of the lads. I say one player. It's kind of strange because Buckley's been well. I think everybody's pulling their weight in that squad. I think it's a hard one. I reckon if they need strength, that's a hard question.
Do you think it's a case of the squad is simply young and it's a case of playing together and improving as a group to try and maybe catch a Dundalk or Shamrock Rovers? Do you think that's more the point with the Bohemians?
I'd reckon, because it's just hard to get a player, because I love them all. They play for my team. It's hard. But just looking at Barker's been good when he came in. He's back at right back. Lyons has been alright. I say maybe they could get a stronger right back, but I think Lyons just needs that experience.
I think with Lyons is a case of he needs experience and potential. He's a lot of potential, if you know what I mean. But he's only 19, I believe, as well. So a lot of lads like that in the Bohs squad. Darnay Grant's another one. Then you've got the likes of Tierney and Dawson Devoy, who are, you know what I mean, they're in and out, like, but they're young guys as well. So I'd imagine training is quite competitive at Bohemians, in fairness, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. With training, I'd love to go and watch the training session because you don't know what goes on in training,
Mm.
especially to give you more
Mm.
insight. On a starting 11, on a Friday night at Daily Mount, you see, oh, this or that player is missing. You're like, hold on a second, why is he missing? He scored 4 goals in the last 3 games. Then, because you don't see what happens in training, that's a big
Yeah.
thing about what a lot of fans fail to realise.
Yeah, no, you're dead right. Often when you see a position someone's in for another player and fans are going, how's he in? There's usually a reason. The other player might be fit, but they could have a little bit of a knock. And I'd be the type of, if I was a manager, I'd rather play someone who was properly fit than playing someone with a bit of a knock. Or if someone's really showing it in training, they deserve their opportunity as well. So fans sometimes don't see that, and it can be a tough one because it's worse when the team is losing. When a team is losing, fans are going to question everything. But when the team is winning, then obviously a manager gets a bit of flack, doesn't he, from it as well? So, you know. Right, Ryan, I think we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for coming on. It's been an interesting chat. We're already gone to 22 minutes, would you believe? Time flies. And guys, check out his channel, Bohsfan TV. I'll leave the link in the description, and subscribe to Irish Footy Vlogs if you haven't done so already. And Ryan, thanks very much. Fair play to you. Thanks.